Well, last month, Eskom denied claims of looming load shedding, but here we are on the second consecutive day of rotational power cuts. One energy company says it's offered its services to the utility, but there's been no response. Mitochondria Energy claims Eskom is standing in the way of solutions. We've got one such, Fana Maribate, who's the Chief Financial Officer from Mitochondria Energy, to join us and give some analysis on this matter. Fana, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. I must actually talk about, you're saying that you've got services to offer Eskom to mitigate the actual energy crisis. What kind of services are we talking about?
Okay. Mitochondria is an independent energy service provider, which is in the business of commercializing distributed energy solutions, technology solutions. Chief of those would be hydrogen fuel cells, okay, which we are currently in the process of developing our own locally produced
hydrogen fuel cells. Okay, so tell me about the workings and the mechanics of hydrogen fuel cells, because from what I understand, hydrogen fuel cells are able to power cities.
Yes, hydrogen fuel cells can be scaled from a megawatt, or rather from a watt, right up to megawatt scale. The one that we're developing is a 250 kilowatt system.
Okay, and how strong is that?
Well, 250 kilowatts would be adequate to power a fair-sized commercial building, like an office tower.
Okay, so then if you produce about 10 of those, you're able to power 10 buildings, right?
Yes, correct. And you can actually mass them together so that you're offering at megawatt level.
Okay, stay with me on this one. For how long is this able to power buildings?
Well, fuel cells require a constant feed of fuel, or a constant feed of hydrogen. So as long as you've got the hydrogen, you can carry on.
Which, of course, South Africa does have.
Well, hydrogen is fairly abundant in nature, but in a ready form, not necessarily. So you need something that delivers the hydrogen to the fuel cell. In most instances, that's usually natural gas, but you can get it from other sources.
See, the reason why I'm asking you all of these questions, as well as how much power does it possess, how does it power for how long, is because, you know, on the other side of it, from what I understand, you tried to reach out to Eskom and say, listen, guys, these are the possible solutions that we've got in front of you, and what's been the response?
Well, I'm sure we're not the only people that have been to see Eskom, and I'm quite sure that they've got a lot on their plate. So, aside from one or two meetings, really, we haven't been able to make much headway in
Yeah. And the reason why I go back to asking this question is because even if you've got a lot on your plate, I'm sure you and I can appreciate this, Fana, that if you've got a lot on my plate and it all has to do with the crisis or the energy crisis in the country, surely I'm able to entertain or at least find leeway with companies that are there to help provide a solution to the current crisis that I'm in. So then in that case, does it not appear as though Eskom is shooting itself in the foot by not entertaining the very same solution providers to the current energy crisis?
Well, I can say definitely that if they were more welcoming and more open to us, we would greatly welcome that.
Okay, so the issue here is around the fact that they need to be more welcoming. Do you think, and I'm going to ask your opinion on this, because, you know, on the one side of it, it's the issue around tariff increases through NERSA. Yes. On the other side of it, we're dealing with day 2 of constant load shedding. And on the other side of it is the fact that you've got matriculants that are currently writing the exams, which do not necessarily need this kind of interruption. Do you think that Eskom is holding the country at ransom?
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't know for sure, but I mean, I wouldn't go that far. That suggests elements of sabotage, and I'm not sure that I'd be rash enough to make such allegations.
But you are disappointed in the fact that they have not actually reached out and become more welcoming to the solutions you proposed?
Yes, it would be a nice change if they could be more open to alternative solutions.
Well, hopefully, if the lights are on at Eskom, then they're watching this interview, and hopefully they can give you a call soon enough so that you can actually provide those solutions. Fana, we're going to leave it there for this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for joining us.